Many times our lives mirror the scenario described here. We find ourselves tightly gripping onto something that we perceive as cool or great. It might be a job that we've grown comfortable in, a relationship that we've become deeply attached to, or even just a familiar routine that gives us a sense of security. Yet, amidst all this, there's a whisper of something greater awaiting us, something beyond our current grasp. It's what some might call destiny, fate, or simply the plan that the universe or a higher power has in store for us. In this analogy, Jordan symbolizes each one of us. We're all on a journey, navigating through life's twists and turns, and at times, we're faced with the need to let go of what we're holding on to make room for something new and extraordinary. This letting go can be one of the most daunting challenges we encounter because it often requires us to step out of our comfort zones and embrace uncertainty. The concept of letting go isn't about abandoning what we have entirely. It's about releasing our grip on it enough to open ourselves up to new possibilities. It's about recognizing that what lies ahead may be different from what we're accustomed to, but it holds the potential to bring us fulfillment, growth, and a deeper sense of purpose. In spiritual or philosophical terms, this process is often described as surrendering to the will of a higher power or trusting in the natural flow of life. It's about having faith that there's a plan beyond our understanding and that by relinquishing control, we allow ourselves to align with that plan and experience the abundance it offers. Letting go doesn't happen overnight. It's a gradual unfolding, marked by moments of resistance, doubt, and fear. Yet, it's also punctuated by moments of clarity, courage, and liberation. It's a journey of self-discovery and transformation, where we learn to shed the layers of conditioning and expectation that hold us back and embrace the truth of who we are and what we're capable of becoming. Ultimately, the act of letting go is an act of trust, a trust in ourselves, in the universe, and in the divine wisdom that guides us. It's a leap of faith into the unknown, fueled by the belief that what awaits us on the other side is nothing short of miraculous. And as we release our grip on the past and open our hearts to the future, we discover that the greatest blessings often come when we least expect them, in the moments when we dare to let go and make room for the extraordinary. The dynamic with God is intriguingly paradoxical. He may lay out promises before us, yet withhold the full revelation of their fulfillment. It's a situation that can frustrate even the most devout among us. We're called to live by faith, not by sight, as the saying goes. This means trusting in the promises of God without always seeing tangible evidence of their manifestation. It requires a profound trust in the promise giver, a trust that transcends our immediate understanding. In the analogy of Jordan, he stands at a crossroads where he's been given a promise, but hasn't yet seen it materialize. He's called to make a leap of faith, to take a step forward without the reassurance of knowing exactly how things will unfold. It's a scenario familiar to many of us in our own lives as we strive to progress to the next level, whether in our careers, relationships, or personal growth. For Jordan, this faith move entails letting go of Paco, something he's cherished and held dear for a significant period. It's a poignant moment, fraught with emotion and uncertainty. Letting go of something familiar and beloved is never easy, and Jordan is faced with the challenge of releasing his grip on Paco to make room for what God has in store. Yet, as the speaker acknowledges, the waiting period is often the most challenging part of the journey. Just as the Israelites experienced a period of waiting between their liberation from slavery and their entry into the Promised Land, Jordan finds himself in a similar liminal space. It's a time of anticipation, of wrestling with doubts and fears, and of learning to lean on faith amid uncertainty. In this waiting period, Jordan is called to trust in the promise of God's faithfulness, even when the path ahead seems unclear. It's a test of his faith and resilience, a journey of spiritual growth and transformation. As he navigates this challenging season, he discovers that the true test of faith lies not in the clarity of vision, but in the courage to trust in God's promises, even when they seem shrouded in mystery. Indeed, this is where the journey becomes particularly challenging for many of us. There's a common misconception that once we let go, once we release our grip on what we're holding on to, God will immediately bestow upon us the blessings we desire. But as the speaker points out, God's timing and ways often diverge from our expectations. God isn't just concerned with giving us what we want when we want it. He's interested in our spiritual growth and in our readiness to receive His blessings. Like a wise and loving parent, He wants to ensure that we're prepared to handle the gifts He has in store for us. This preparation isn't just about our external circumstances. It's about the condition of our hearts, our character, and our capacity to steward the blessings we seek. In Jordan's case, it's not merely a matter of letting go of Paco. It's about whether his heart is truly ready for what lies ahead. Is he equipped with the strength, humility, and integrity necessary to navigate the challenges and responsibilities that come with receiving God's greater blessings? It's a question that resonates with all of us as we contemplate what we're holding on to in our own lives. Many of us cling to our past experiences, our fears, our doubts, and our preconceived notions of what we deserve or are capable of achieving. We carry these burdens with us, convinced that they define our limitations and dictate our destiny. Yet, in doing so, we may be inadvertently blocking ourselves from experiencing the fullness of God's grace and provision. The speaker challenges us to examine our hearts and confront the areas in which we're clinging to the familiar, the comfortable, and the safe. What are we unwilling to let go of to make room for God's immeasurable blessings? Are we willing to trust in His plan for our lives, even when it requires us to relinquish our grip on the things we hold dear? It's a profound question, one that invites introspection and self-examination. And as we grapple with it, we may find that the key to unlocking God's abundant blessings lies not in our ability to hold on tightly to what we have, but in our willingness to open our hands and hearts to receive what He has in store for us. The rephrased question cuts straight to the heart of the matter. Do you possess enough trust in God to relinquish the familiar comforts of your life in exchange for the unknown treasures of His blessings? Following God's calling often demands that we surrender what we perceive as good for the sake of something even better, something with a lasting impact on His kingdom. It's a poignant truth that sometimes God calls us to let go of what is good to make room for what is better. This struggle resonates deeply with many of us. Yet, amidst the uncertainty and the discomfort, we can take solace in the unwavering goodness of God and His steadfast commitment to His divine purpose. In creating space for God's blessings, we must first confront the things we're holding onto tightly, whether they be relationships, possessions, or even mindsets that hinder our ability to fully receive what He has in store for us. It's a process of clearing out the clutter of our lives to make way for the abundance of His grace. Consider the countless individuals who yearn for deep connections and meaningful relationships, but find themselves unable to move forward because they're still clinging to the remnants of past relationships. Until they're willing to let go of what's holding them back, they'll continue to miss out on the richness of new opportunities and experiences. So, the question remains, what are you still grasping onto? What are you unwilling to release? It's only by creating space in our hearts and lives that we can truly welcome the good that we desire. And while the act of letting go may be daunting, we can take comfort in the knowledge that God's plans for us are always good, and His blessings exceed anything we could ever imagine. The essence of the message is crystal clear. To welcome the good things we desire into our lives, we must deliberately make space for them. This isn't merely a suggestion. It's a fundamental truth that applies to all aspects of our existence, whether it's relationships, mindsets, or lingering memories from the past, if we fail to release what no longer serves us, we risk impeding our growth and inhibiting the blessings that God intends for us. The speaker underscores the importance of recognizing when something in our lives has outlived its purpose or become a hindrance to our progress. Holding on to past hurts, disappointments, and grievances only serves to weigh us down, cloud our perspective, and drain our energy. It's like carrying around a heavy burden that saps our vitality and stifles our potential. It's a common experience to find ourselves replaying past injustices in our minds, reliving the pain and resentment over and over again. Yet, as the speaker aptly points out, this pattern of dwelling on the negative can have profound consequences on our well-being. It affects our attitude, our energy levels, and even our ability to tap into our creativity and potential. The challenge, then, lies in our willingness to let go, to release the grip of the past and embrace the possibilities of the present and future. It's about making a conscious choice to free ourselves from the shackles of bitterness and resentment, and to open our hearts and minds to the abundance of blessings that await us. By creating space for the good that we desire, we open ourselves up to a world of new opportunities and experiences. We allow God's transformative power to work in our lives, guiding us toward the fulfillment of His purpose and the realization of our highest potential. And in doing so, we step into a future that is filled with hope, joy, and limitless possibilities. The speaker drives home a crucial point. Mastering the art of letting go is essential if we are to fulfill our destiny. How we choose to handle offenses and hurts will ultimately determine whether we progress toward the new opportunities that God has in store for us or remain mired in bitterness and resentment over what didn't pan out. It's a trap many fall into, to dwell on past grievances and disappointments, unable to see beyond the pain to the promise of the future. Living in the past becomes a comfortable refuge when the future appears uncertain and the tangible evidence of God's promises seems elusive. But as the speaker reminds us, fixating on what was only serves to hold us back from what could be. The truth is that dwelling on the past is futile. Whatever has happened cannot be changed, and expending energy on regrets or what-ifs only squanders the precious time we have in the present. Whether it's a divorce, financial setback, or any other form of adversity, the past is just that, the past. And clinging to it robs us of the opportunity to fully embrace the potential of the present moment. The analogy of time slipping away like sand through an hourglass serves as a poignant reminder of the fleeting nature of life. Each moment that we spend dwelling on the past is a moment lost, a moment that could have been invested in pursuing our dreams, nurturing relationships, or simply finding joy in the present. Ultimately, the speaker encourages us to shift our focus from what was to what can be. By releasing the grip of the past and embracing the uncertainty of the future, we open ourselves up to the infinite possibilities that lie ahead. It's a journey of faith and courage, trusting that God's plan for us is far greater than anything we could ever imagine. And as we learn to let go and live in the present, we begin to unlock the fullness of the life that God has intended for us all along. The speaker's message resonates with a profound sense of urgency and wisdom. The only moment we truly possess is the present. Dwelling on the past serves only to ensure that our future remains a mere reflection of what has already transpired. It's a stark reminder to let go of what no longer serves us, to release the burdens of resentment and regret that weigh us down. The imagery of letting the dead bury the dead speaks to the futility of clinging to that which is already gone. No amount of dwelling on past grievances can change what has already occurred. It's a call to embrace the impermanence of life and to channel our energy into the possibilities of the here and now. The notion of throwing dust into a strong wind at someone else vividly captures the senselessness of holding on to resentment. Just as the dust inevitably disperses into the wind, so too does our bitterness dissipate without achieving any meaningful resolution. It's a powerful metaphor for the futility of holding on to anger and the inevitability of its consequences. Instead of looking back in anger or forward in fear, the speaker urges us to cultivate a sense of awareness in the present moment. Life is not a series of endings, but rather a continuous journey of beginnings. By focusing on what lies ahead, we open ourselves up to the limitless possibilities of what is to come. The analogy of the grape being transformed into wine through the process of crushing serves as a poignant reminder of the potential for growth and transformation that lies within every adversity. Just as the grape relinquishes its identity to become something greater, so too must we let go of our past selves to embrace the fullness of our potential. In essence, the speaker's message is a rallying cry to release the shackles of the past and embrace the boundless opportunities of the present. It's a call to let go of what no longer serves us and to step boldly into the future, knowing that something truly extraordinary awaits us on the other side. The speaker addresses a common human experience, the feeling that God is silent or indifferent to our circumstances. It's a sentiment that many of us can relate to, especially during times of uncertainty or adversity. Yet, the speaker offers reassurance grounded in biblical wisdom. God is not idle or unaware of our struggles. He is actively at work, ushering in something new and extraordinary. The passage quoted, "For I am about to do something new. See, I have already begun. Do you not see it?" From the Bible, serves as a powerful reminder of God's sovereignty and His faithfulness to His promises. Even when we cannot perceive His plans unfolding, He is steadily moving forward, orchestrating events for our ultimate good. The speaker then shifts focus to the personal level, acknowledging the challenges of letting go of past relationships or situations that no longer serve us. It's a journey fraught with uncertainty and discomfort, particularly when we find ourselves in the middle, the space between what was and what will be. The example of a past relationship resonates with many listeners, highlighting the struggle of letting go even when we know it's for our well-being. Despite recognizing the toxicity of the situation, the loneliness and uncertainty of the present can make it tempting to look back with nostalgia. Yet the speaker's message is clear. The promise of something new and better remains unchanged. It's a reminder to trust in God's timing and to have faith that He is leading us toward a brighter future, even when the path ahead seems unclear. Ultimately, the speaker's words offer hope and encouragement to those grappling with the challenges of letting go and moving forward. It's a call to embrace the discomfort of the present in anticipation of the extraordinary blessings that await us on the horizon. Perhaps it's a shift in mindset, a change in perspective, or perhaps it feels like retracing old footsteps despite moving forward. There's a sense of déjà vu, as if certain mindsets you thought you'd shed are resurfacing. It could be a physical place you once left behind, a city or town you relocated from, only to find yourself back within its borders, feeling uneasy, uncertain, and somewhat isolated. The familiar faces are no longer around. The dynamics at work have shifted, and you can't shake the feeling that life elsewhere would be so much better. Yet, clinging to the past only tightens its grip, making it harder to embrace the present and the future. It's a weight that holds you down, preventing you from fully experiencing the opportunities that lie ahead. But there's power in letting go. It's a lesson in freedom, in releasing the burdens that weigh heavy on your heart. Maybe it wasn't fair. Perhaps you were wronged, hurt, or betrayed. Yet, holding on to resentment only prolongs the pain, allowing those who hurt you to maintain a hold over your emotions and your life. But there's solace in the belief that justice will prevail. Whether through divine intervention or the natural course of time, those who wronged you will be held to account. It's not your responsibility to seek revenge or to repay the hurt inflicted upon you. Instead, it's about finding peace within yourself, about trusting in a higher power to right the wrongs and restore what was lost. God sees your struggles, hears your cries, and knows the depths of your suffering. If you can muster the strength to release the bitterness and resentment, He promises to replace your ashes with beauty. It's a promise of redemption, renewal, and a brighter tomorrow born from the ashes of yesterday's pain. Many of us stand on the threshold of our promises, just a hair's breadth away from stepping into the new levels of abundance and fulfillment that God has prepared for us. Yet, sometimes, we find ourselves hesitating, held back by a lack of faith, or by clinging to something we should let go of. Tonight, it's as if God is speaking directly to your heart, urging you to release that one thing that's been weighing you down. It could be a relationship that's turned toxic, a mindset that breeds negativity, or a mistake from the past that continues to haunt you. Whatever it may be, it's standing between you and the blessings that await. Sure, what they did wasn't right. The pain they caused is real and the wounds may still be fresh. But forgiveness isn't about excusing their behavior. It's about setting yourself free from the shackles of resentment and bitterness. Carrying that burden only contaminates your soul, poisoning your spirit and hindering your progress. So tonight, as you stand on the cusp of your promise, take that leap of faith. Let go of the past, release the grip of anger and hurt, and open your heart to the possibilities that lie ahead. Trust that God will guide you through this process, healing your wounds and leading you toward the abundant life He has promised. It's time to embrace the freedom that comes with forgiveness and step boldly into your destiny. Forgiveness is a powerful act of liberation. It's about releasing the grip of resentment and pain that others have caused us, whether it's a person who hurt us deeply, a parent who fell short of our expectations, or the shattered remnants of a dream we once held dear. It's also about letting go of the heavy burden of guilt, shame, regret, and remorse that we carry within us. These emotions are like toxic waste, poisoning our souls and stifling our potential. We cannot move forward while carrying such a weight. So the best thing we can do is to surrender it all to God. We must utter those words of forgiveness, releasing the hurts, the losses, and the unfulfilled desires into His care. We trust that He will mend what is broken and compensate for what was lacking. Even if we cannot see what tomorrow holds, we can find solace in knowing who holds our tomorrow. We may not perceive the promise that lies ahead, but we can have unwavering faith in the promise giver Himself. Consider the analogy of a car's design. The rearview mirror, though present, is small compared to the expansive windshield. This is deliberate, as it symbolizes that what lies ahead is far more significant than what is behind us. As believers, we must embrace this principle wholeheartedly. Yet, some of us persist in clinging to past mistakes or lingering in relationships or habits that no longer serve us. God is urging us to recognize that what lies ahead far surpasses what we leave behind. He waits patiently for us to let go, to release our grip on the past, and to step boldly into the future He has prepared for us. Tonight, let us heed His call to release the past and embrace the greatness that awaits us. Letting go is the first step towards receiving abundant blessings and fulfilling the purpose God has for each of us.